What's up, everybody? Welcome to the WolfPack Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens. Here with me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Mike LaPlante and Mike Bonney, and we are back for episode 2 of our Old Faces and New Places shows. Totally blew that one. I was rolling and then I blew it, guys. I was rolling and then I blew it. Before we jump into that, please smash the like button. Please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. We appreciate that. Hit the bell for notifications and then head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans and check out our memberships. Sign up for that Discord. Get to hang out with all of us, talk fantasy football, talk fantasy baseball, check out our award-winning rankings. All that fun. But what do you say, guys? Let's just jump right into the running backs that changed teams this offseason. And we're going to start with Miles Sanders leaving the Eagles, heading to the Carolina Panthers. Ike, he's coming off a career year. He averaged 5.3 yards per carry last year behind a great offensive line in Philadelphia. Do we expect similar things from Miles Sanders now that he is with the Panthers?
I would not expect 5.3. It's a rookie quarterback, probably in Carolina, I would assume. Obviously, they're going to draft Bryce Young. They got no receivers as of right now. Their offensive line's not as good as the Eagles.
That's not true.
Good.
They got Adam Thielen.
I forgot they got Adam Thielen. Oh, God.
DJ Chark.
34 yard. Whoa. But they're probably going to stack the box on him for the most part. So 5.3 yards per carry, probably not likely. Touchdowns probably won't be as much. Yards probably won't be as much either. So to me, he's probably a fade. I don't know where he's going right now. Running back.
I will look that up for you real quick. He is going as running back 23, which seems like a value there.
I thought he was going to be higher than this. That's not bad, actually, then. I don't mind that. Okay.
I agree. How about you, LaPlante? What are you thinking here with Miles Sanders?
I mean, he is actually probably getting a lateral move on the offensive line here. The Carolina Panthers are actually pretty good. Pro Football Network ranks their offensive line 13th.
I was going to say good, but not Eagles, obviously.
Well, the Eagles gets a bump because they have Jalen Hurts, obviously. I mean, the O-line gets a bump when you have a quarterback that can run.
No, their O-line's just really good.
Well, it is good. Don't get me wrong, but the Carolina Panthers line is good too. It's up there as well. It's probably the best thing the Panthers have outside their defense right now.
Yeah, it's definitely solid.
Yeah, they're going to be a RPO probably heavy team getting Bryce Young in there. They're not going to have a lot of downfield passes. Obviously, Bryce Young doesn't have the biggest arm, but he's very accurate. They're probably just going to be picking apart defenses, which means that Miles Sanders might get an uptick here in the passing game. I
hope so, man, because that's not something we saw in Philadelphia. But
the efficiency's not going to – you're fine. The efficiency's just not going to be there. He's not going to get 5.3 yards a carry again because of the rookie quarterback and the lack of the weapons on the outside. But he's going to be the guy. It's just Chuba Hubbard behind Deontay Foreman left. Yes. We'll talk about him a little bit later. So he's going to get majority of the carries here. He's going to be going in those RB dead zones where if you like drafting, later RBs, you don't want to invest heavily, on those early ones. This guy's going to be a guy that you might be able to reap the benefits on.
Yeah, sure. And then the thing that when I was looking at his stats that stuck out to me was him seeing 259 carries last year. I wasn't sure we were going to see Miles Sanders be able to carry that kind of workload, guys. I was going to say,
you'll probably see him carry it more this year.
Yeah, that would be great. Hopefully he stays
just less efficient, obviously.
He's able to do so. Yep. Next guy we're going to talk about here is David Montgomery, guys, leaving the Bears, heading over to one of their division rivals, the Detroit Lions, who lost one of their running backs, who we'll talk next. But LaPlante, let's start with you. What does David Montgomery look like in this Lions offense?
He looks like Jamaal Williams on steroids. I think David Montgomery is a better running back than Jamaal Williams. Not like, mountains ahead of him, but a little bit better.
More elusive, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'd say that about David Montgomery.
8th most evaded.
He can also catch the ball.
Player profiler, yeah.
Yeah, he can also catch the ball here. So, I mean, Detroit last year, Jamaal Williams had 262 rushing attempts. I mean, we know Montgomery can, carry that workload. Yeah,
250 at least.
DeAndre Swift was a little banged up last year. This is a huge bonus for Montgomery, I think. DeAndre Swift's going to take the biggest hit here because of what I just said. Montgomery can catch the ball. We've seen it, in his career in Chicago. So, I mean,
I'd be fading DeAndre Swift big time.
And Montgomery, how often is he really realistically going to get on the field, too? Because Dave Montgomery is a good pass blocker, too.
I mean, Jamaal Williams only got 16 targets last year. I do not expect that to be Montgomery's target share. I expect it to be more up into the 40.
They're going to probably be even, like 40 for Swift.
Like, I'm looking here, Justin
Jackson
had 19 targets. Craig Reynolds had 10 targets. Those are kind of just those backup guys. I think Montgomery gets those, and then probably a little bit of Swift, 70 targets there. I mean, so it's the biggest fade here is Swift. I think Montgomery is a good get here. He's another one of those, kind of dead back, RB dead zone guys that I think could show you some value.
Where's he going down?
He's going as RB25 off the board right now, right where Michael Plant is talking in ADP best ball. That's what we're talking, guys.
Very good chance he could finish as a RB1 this year. Jamaal Williams did it last year, just scoring touchdowns alone for the Lions. The O-line is really good. So Montgomery.
I don't think Montgomery has the nose for the end zone like Jamaal Williams does.
That's true. Yeah,
he'll still get his.
And I'm
Maybe
just to put
Swift
it in perspective,
in
guys.
Who knows?
I was just gonna say, just to put this in perspective, and this is gonna surprise you guys. Swift is going as RB17 off the board, and we kind of just all agreed that maybe Montgomery might be the better value here, and might be the better fantasy player in general.
But I would put Swift more down by where Montgomery is, and then probably Montgomery ahead of Sanders.
See, the reason why Jamaal Williams had a nose for the end zone is because they gave him all the 1-yard carries. Like, they're probably not going to get a whole bunch of 1-yard carries again this year, but Dave Montgomery is going to be the red zone back, and that's what's going to be.
Dave Montgomery can also break one, which Jamaal
could.
Well, since we're talking Jamaal already, let's just segue right into it, guys. He jumps over to the New Orleans Saints. And we've seen this offense when it was under Sean Payton, mind you, be real good with Kamara and Mark Ingram. Kamara might miss some time here, but could
most likely
Jamaal Williams be the Mark Ingram of this offense, guys, like we saw?
Not as explosive. Mark Ingram was shifty and strong, so I don't see Jamaal Williams being like that exactly, but here's your touchdown threat for sure, which hurts Kamara if he's playing.
I do think him and Kamara make a good 1-2 package, but I do like Jamaal Williams, and I like where he's going as well.
I like it.
36 in best ball, man. Whoa.
I like it because it puts Kamara back into a spot where he's best, which is the receiving back where he gets 8 carries a game, but 8 targets. So he's not worn down completely if he's not suspended.
I just wish this offense was better, which it might be with Derek Carr. Quarterback it in now, and it should be. If you guys didn't already, if you guys didn't already, go out and check out our quarterback episode. We did this a little bit earlier. Michael Plant, go on with what you're saying.
I was just gonna say, I mean, he's gonna get the biggest bump in the beginning of the season when Kamara's suspension most likely takes a hit, but takes hold. I'm not in on Jamaal Williams once Kamara comes into it because it's just going to be more touchdown dependency for him. And I mean, we saw it last year. The Lions offense was much better than the Saints offense. I still think the Lions offense will be better than the Saints offense this year, even with Derek Carr. So, I mean, Jamaal Williams getting 15 touchdowns again.
He could get 10.
Maybe
10 is in the realm of possibility.
That's if you see this offense being good. I mean, because it was not good last year, guys.
But Derek Carr was able to get Josh Jacobs like 12 touchdowns. So
Josh Jacobs got himself, I think, those touchdowns.
No bullshit. Derek Carr got him down there on a few deep throws to Devontae, and he was now on like the 2-yard line.
But I think we can all agree that running back 36 off the board, I think we're all in on Jamaal.
He'll outperform that value just due to the fact of Kamara's suspension.
Yeah, for sure. Next guy we got here, guys, is kind of an under the radar move. Samaje Perine leaving the Bengals. He was Joe Mixon's backup there for a while, and he's heading over to Denver to play with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton.
This is my
Javonte
favorite
Williams.
one.
Yeah, it is. It's totally under the radar. Javonte Williams ACL last year, and it wasn't a good one, guys. He's gonna miss a chunk of this season. So that puts Samaje in a good spot. No Melvin Gordon there. Ike, it seems like you want to take the reins on this one. You're all about Samaje?
This was the first week still, but Russell threw 14 times to Javonte Williams that first week. That's not going to happen again, obviously, but Samaje Perine is a good receiving back, and he's okay on the ground. So just that in PPR, I want all of it, especially since he's probably going at RB
41.
41, you said?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm all in then. Because those first 4 or 5 weeks, he'll be an RB2 or better.
Yeah, I agree. And you'd like to think with Sean Payton coming over, man.
Like that too.
Be better.
He's gonna use him like Kamara then probably, or something in the target share.
I wouldn't say he's gonna use him like Kamara, but the one benefit that you have is being that it's Sean Payton. Every time Sean Payton's ran an offense, and granted that was only in New Orleans, they've had a running back 1 in fantasy football. I mean they are top. I want to say they were top 10 every time Sean Payton had an offense for New Orleans when it came to rushing attempts, just in general. So they do Sean Payton likes to run the ball, and I think that's a good strategy to get Russell Wilson back on track here in this division.
Yeah, 100%. Good point there. Good take there.
So, I mean, the biggest thing here is Javonte Williams with the injury. It's not good news, guys, here with Javonte Williams. He's going to miss a good chunk of it. And typically with ACL injuries, you don't get the guy back, the first year. I mean, look at Chris Godwin last year after the ACL. He took him 8-9 weeks before he finally actually got back on track.
Still was fucking got 130 targets.
But I'm basically kind of scratching Javonte Williams for this year, and Samaje Perine's going to be a good get for a redraft this year, guys. He's going to have good value. He's probably going to outperform his value. It's just I don't know if he can handle the workload that Sean Payton wants to give him. That's my only thing is injury concerns.
But maybe they draft a guy in the later rounds as well. Next guy we want to talk about here is D'Onta Foreman, coming from the Panthers and heading over to the Bears to kind of take
that's why you want to talk about him.
The David Montgomery role. He's going to be splitting carries with Khalil Herbert, guys, so that's a little sketchy. But the good thing is the Bears ran the ball 32 times, which was the second most of all the teams in the NFL per game. So you know
going to Fields already, so you got to take the
well, let's hope Fields from a fantasy perspective, we like seeing 10 carries for Fields, but as a Bears fan,
use them like Hurts, and Hurts ran the ball about 8 to 10 times a game, and that's what I expect Fields to do.
Are we in on D'Onta Foreman, guys, or are you letting somebody else draft him?
Somebody else draft him.
I'd
rather have Khalil Herbert.
RB45.
I'll take him at that.
I'd take Samaje before him if they're in that same grouping.
I think Samaje is probably
Samaje's from 41. Yep, he's going a little bit ahead. Khalil's going at 32, and I still like the value there as well.
I think the biggest thing is you're going to have Fields taking away most of the rushing yards here if they keep the offense the same as they did last year. Now, I expect them to pass a little bit more after them trading for DJ Moore. But the biggest thing I think the takeaway you can take away from this is I think D'Onta Foreman's ceiling is capped because of Fields in the end zone. Because Fields is going to get a decent amount of rushing touchdowns here. I fully expect them to use him in the red zone, even if they cut down on his rushing yards. D'Onta Foreman averaged 4.5 yards a carry last year for the Panthers. Got 200 attempts. Yeah, I mean, it's not happening with this offensive line. Yeah, it's not. I mean, he got 5 touchdowns with the Panthers last year, which I could see that being a realistic thing again this year.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see Foreman in a zone run scheme. I feel like that's a little weird. That's not really tailored to his strength like it is for Khalil Herbert.
Man, it's hard to tell with D'Onta Foreman because he's also one of those guys that came off he's had an Achilles injury in his past. Now he's been fortunate enough to kind of come back from it. Prayers up for Cam Akers. But I'm just the O-line here is just the big downgrade.
He doesn't catch the ball.
You're getting a ceiling cap with Justin Fields here. So, I mean, I think the risk is baked into the ADP right there.
Definitely.
So, I mean, he's not
high-end handcuff.
Yeah, if anything. Because, I mean, I don't even trust Khalil Herbert fully this year, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if he can handle the full workload.
No, he's not going to get the full workload. You're hoping for explosive plays from Khalil Herbert because we have seen him do it in the past, and he'll probably get 12 carries. Foreman will get 10. That's probably where the split would be around if I had to take a guess. But you were talking about injuries, Micah Plant. That segues us, unfortunately, to our next guy here, and that's Rashaad Penny, leaving the Seahawks after he was a first-round pick, heading over to the Philadelphia Eagles, guys, to take Miles Sanders' spot, maybe. There's 250 carries guys there, like we talked about, that are free. They're linked to Bijan Robinson, unfortunately, for Rashaad Penny. Are we diving all in on him, Mike? What do you think?
As right now, you can't really say much because if they do get Bijan, he's basically useless. If they don't get Bijan,
I wouldn't say he's useless because they've shown that offense is a multiple running back scheme.
But Kenny Gainwell, I think, is better than him and should be drafted higher than him. And
I think Rashaad Penny is more talented than Kenny Gainwell. It's just he's not more healthy. That's the only thing. Penny's more talented.
He's going at running back.
Penny can't catch a ball like Gainwell can, though.
Yeah, but Gainwell can't do what Penny did the stretch of the season last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Last year he was done or injured, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't think Kenny Gainwell's ever finished as an RB1. Rashaad Penny's done it at least 4 times now. Now, granted, that's about the only times he's done it. But I still think he can handle workload more than Kenny Gainwell. But yeah, the big thing here is Bijan. I mean, where'd you say he was going for ADP-wise, Rashaad Penny? I know it's late as hell.
Had a 33 right behind Khalil Herbert in front of AJ Dillon.
Nope.
I mean, if you think he's going to be healthy, that's a steal right there. But if you don't think he's going to be healthy, it's, probably should be a little bit lower. That's pretty much it. Because, as much as we want to say it, guys, we can't predict injuries. Mm-hmm. He might be healthy this year. And if he's healthy, we've seen what he can do.
I'm with though. I think I would rather have Samaje over Rashaad Penny. But the last guy we want to touch on here, just maybe a little bit, we got
this year, yeah.
Damien Harris leaving the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson season, guys. Let's go. Heading over to the Buffalo Bills. Devin Singletary departs. I think he's still a free agent, actually, or did he go to
Houston?
Yeah,
maybe
we didn't put that one on here, guys. That's my bad.
Yeah, it's because of
Singletary going to Houston. But yeah, Damien Harris with Buffalo. Guys, we've seen him be a touchdown scoring machine in New England. 15 touchdowns one season. Josh Allen's in the media here talking like he doesn't want to run the rock that much anymore.
He keeps getting rocked.
His elbow's all messed up. What do we think about Damien? What do we think about Damien Harris here? Is he just a touchdown-dependent running back, or you guys like him for a little bit more than that?
He's going to be getting most of the carries over James Cook. Why would they give James Cook more carries than him when James Cook can't handle that all necessarily?
I tend to agree.
They like James Cook in the passing game, though. That's the thing. And Damien Harris is not much of a passing back. Now, yeah, he can catch it, but they really like James Cook after drafting him in the second round last year for the passing game. I think that I like Damien Harris, but I think he's just going to be I can never think about it, but what the name of it is, but he's just going to be the guy that, he gets majority of the carries, but he's not going to get the touchdowns because Josh Allen's going to get him in the red zone. Or James Cook will get the dump off. All right. But he's going to get majority of the carries, and he's not going to get any of the passing attempts. He's going to get all the useless volume here with the rushing.
He's going to be Devin Singletary. Why can't he be Devin Singletary?
Because Devin Singletary got 52 targets last year.
How many touchdowns did Devin Singletary score?
6.
I want to say 6, yeah.
Damien Harris can get that easily in this offense.
I could see Damien Harris getting 8.
That's if Josh Allen
getting 10. Come on. It's the best offense, top 3 offense in the league.
Josh Allen, see, here's the thing. Yes, Josh Allen wants to run the ball less between the 20s. Inside the 20s, that's Josh Allen's ball. I'm sorry. He's going to be scoring those touchdowns over Damien Harris. So Damien Harris.
There's a reason they got Damien Harris. Especially since
in between the 20s. So Josh Allen doesn't have to.
No, for the goal line.
Like, we got Damien Harris, we got Samaje Perine back-to-back with each other. And those two are stared at you in the 10th round, the 8th round, whatever the hell it is. Who are you taking there?
Samaje. He's going to get passing attempts.
I think I lean Samaje slightly as well, but it's close.
I like
see why they're back. I see why they're back.
He has double-digit touchdown potential, no doubt.
I would say Perine because the Broncos offense could be good if Russell gets his shit together.
But where we strictly talk PPR, it's Samaje. It's Perine. Yeah.
Guys, I've talked myself into the RB dead zone all over again, just like I did last year. I feel like it's full.
I'm kind of following your strategy a little.
I think it's full of guys who you could draft and be very, very.
The ADP market has not caught up on the running backs yet.
No, it will. It will, and we'll be here to talk about it all offseason.
Where's Damien going?
Running back 41 or 42.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, guys, that wraps up.
He should be higher than Rashaad Penny, to be honest.
Ooh, that's spicy. That's a little spicy there. But guys, that wraps up our running back episode of our Old Faces, New Places. Wide receivers will be next, so make sure you head on over there and watch that video. Make sure you smash the like button on this one. Please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel if you don't already, and hit that bell for notifications so you know when we go live for the NFL Draft Show that Joe Bond and AJ Applegarth are hosting the Fantasy Six Pack Hour on Thursday. That all three of us will be on. So until then, we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye-bye.